Discussion Board 1.1. Question number 1. In your own words, explain what it means to be equity literate. To be equity literate, I think a person has to have a foundational understanding of the word equity itself. Equity means to be fair and impartial. When we add the word literate onto the word, I think it requires a person to understand that every person, no matter their differences, is deserving of equal opportunities and experiences. As suggested in Basic Principles for Equity Literacy by Paul Gorski, being equity literate also includes being able to notice when something is not equal and addressing the inequity head-on. By recognizing inequities, we are able to fix the issue, which enables us to ensure that all people are getting equal opportunities and experiences. Question number 2. Explain how being equity literate serves or does not serve a role or purpose in your life, career, or educational journey. Give at least one example. Being equity literate serves a big purpose in the educational field because as educators, we are the ones providing students with their basic understandings of the world and beyond. And we're providing them with the tools to think for themselves and make their own conclusions about what they've learned. And as educators, we need to advocate for students and ensure that they're receiving equal opportunities and experiences. An example that occurred in my classroom was that I gave an assigned reading for homework through my Schoology course, which requires a computer and internet. While we are a one-to-one campus, so my students all had the device, my students didn't necessarily have access to the internet. Therefore, many of my students were unable to complete the assignment, leaving them with a bad grade for not completing it, even though this was out of their control. And as stated in the fourth ability on the Equity Literacy for Educators Definition and Abilities by Paul Gorski, equity literate educators should consider their students' access to resources outside of school. If they do not take that into consideration, then there is an inequity within the classroom, and that doesn't set the students up for success. So reflecting on this, in order to address that inequity, I could have provided my students with a printed out copy of the assigned reading, or I could have done more research on my end as the teacher and get this assigned reading to my students, still digitally, but maybe in a way that didn't require internet, therefore making it a more equal opportunity for all my students.